This is a short video on domain and range, something that you probably don't remember, which is why I'm making a video on it. Okay, we'll be talking about this throughout the semester as well as next semester, and so I just want to give you a quick reminder on what it is. Okay, long time ago, you learned that domain had to do with X values. Okay, you also should have learned that this is what we call an input value, also known as the independent variable. Okay, by the way, you don't have to write any of this down. This is just for your information because I know how eager you are to learn. Okay, anyway, so on a graph, this is what we're talking about, the values on the bottom. So for this picture here, you would look at everything down here. Okay, horizontally left to right, the domain are the x values, the x-axis. Similarly, we had our range, which was the opposite, the y values. Okay, and everything is the opposite of a domain. So instead of the input, this would be the output. Instead of independent, this would be the dependent variable. And on our graph, this is the part that goes up and down. So this is the vertical portion of the graph, also known as the y-axis. Okay, these two things are related, namely, the range depends on the domain. So if the x value were to change places, so let's say I have a number over here, the y value could be something different. Okay, one way to think about this is with a picture. Okay, let's say we have some sort of function. Let's call it a factory just for the name of something familiar. Okay, our x values are denoted by everything that goes into this function or this factory. This is what we call the domain. It's all the possible values that we can use. This is not always going to be everything. It depends on what the function is, because sometimes our function doesn't exist in certain areas, and we'll get to that later on in the year. Okay, for the sake of simplicity, let's pretend we have some butterflies. Okay, butterflies that went into this factory, this magical factory. Okay? While they were in this factory, something happened to them. So something in here, oh, I meant to do yellow. Something in here happens to these butterflies, okay? That's what we call the function. So when they come out, they're no longer the same value they were here. Instead, they are y values, or the range, or maybe the butterflies turned into stars. I don't know. Beautiful stars, yes. So they became universal. I don't know. I don't do science. Anyway, as you can see, the relationship between these two things is that our stars, our y values, are directly dependent on the x values. So if I change something, if this number changes when it goes into the function, you're going to pop out with something different over here. Okay, x and y, domain and range. Okay, hope that was a little helpful. We'll go more into the notations in some future videos and lessons.